Peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, assalamu Allah. Peace to the black gods and goddesses on the planet Earth covering 196,940,000 square miles. I'm your brother in the struggle, brother minister, Alifullah. And today, family, I want to build with y'all a little bit on what's going on in Haiti. In order for us to understand the present situation, we got to understand a little bit about the past. Now, I'm not a history teacher. For over 40 years, I constantly been teaching y'all that history is not a science. That is so critical for us to fathom and get into our psyche. I mean, I see so many of our beloved brothers and sisters um, in dispute about ancient our story or his story or history, if you will. I mean, and you got to understand that history simply is just not a science. It does not stand up to scientific methods. You cannot take and look at what happened 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million, a billion, a trillion, a quadrillion, a quintillion, a sextillion, octillion years ago and think that you know what you're talking about. Just come on. Know what I mean? That's goobity goop. Know what I mean? But what you can do is study the past to have a proper understanding of the present. Know what I mean? You know. So today I want y'all to understand right now they have a situation over Haiti. Know what I mean? And basically, um, the Haitian, some call him a leader, some call him a gangster, whatever. I don't know the man, so I'm not going to speak good or evil of the brother. You know what I mean? You know, but I am going to look at some basic things so that we could basically understand what is agreed upon when it comes to Haiti. You know what I mean? Short version. I'm gonna give y'all the footnotes to this thing. All right. Um, Different European powers, aka devils, enslaved Africans, mostly West Africans. And they brought them over Haiti because Haiti, being a tropical island, is just so fertile for like sugar cane and tobacco, and people like smoking cigarettes, whatever the case may be. I mean, so they bringing all these slaves from Africa over to the islands of the West, as well as the mainland. This is how my ancestors got here. Long story short, the difference between the mainland and these little islands like Cuba and Jamaica, so-called Jamaica, and what we call Haiti today, the Dominican Republic or what have you. Now, I mean, they basically had so many slaves. The slaves literally outnumbered the slaves' so-called masters. Some historians calculate it to be like 9 black slaves to like one slave master. I mean, and socially and politically speaking, because they bringing in so many slaves, they didn't realize that, it's like in one generation, you're kidnapping, you're going back, getting more slaves, bringing them over, going back, getting some more slaves, bringing them over. Now, the Most Elijah Muhammad teaches us in 17 ways for the Islamic culture that there's always a good side. It's better to look at that side. And I mean, the good side was they was constantly reminding the slaves and renewing the slaves about their original native land culture, their language, their mores, their gods, their culture. Now, I mean, so they were not like us, the so-called American Negroes today. They were not mentally completely robbed of the knowledge itself. So a lot of them, they definitely came under Spanish names, French names, or the colonizers, but they were still meeting their brothers and sisters from the East. I mean, and that like when you got a big giant continent like the wilderness of North America, it's easy for a slave master to take and break up a family, send a father, say, to Virginia, the mother to South Carolina, send the son to Texas, or the daughter, she could be sent to, say, Wisconsin or whatever. Now, I mean, Haiti's just a small little island. The eastern part of the island, they couldn't do that like that. I mean, so they had a more stronger root with Africa, if you will. Now, I mean, so by the year around, I would say 1799, they had what they call the War of Knives. That's when, the slaves literally was whacking up the slave masters on sight, if you will. And by 1801, they had literally the black slaves taking over their portion of the island, if you will. Now, I mean, and at the time, it wasn't that they was taking over the island because they had some supreme military power. It was because they wanted to be free. They had a desire, a passion. Now, I mean, they asserted themselves for their own freedom. And the French, looking at this little island of Haiti, they like, the real money is the Americans is being established. I mean, you got other European powers, the Portuguese, the Dutch, you got all these other black, brown, yellow, and red people around the world that they were exploiting. They like, well, we getting all this big money over here. Y'all robbing little small jokers. We ain't really sweating that little money like that. Now, I mean, if you can put it on some street terms, if you will, some hood terms. Now, I mean, so, they eventually got around to like, okay. Now, I mean, it's like the drug game. If somebody's taking over a block and somebody else taking over the waterfront and taking 100 birds, 100 bricks, you not worrying about this little block. You ain't worrying about these little caps and these little bags over here. You like, man, we got to focus on. Now, I mean, they trying to get the trap house. They trying to get the real paper. So you going to focus on that. So that's how the French government really was focused. They was focused on the big money. They like, listen, we still in all this other money. Our product, our big product is these huge shiploads of slaves and all that. We ain't really sweating these little rebellious rebels on the block. You know what I mean? We ain't worrying about. We'll worry about them later on. Now we'll come down there and handle that later. You know what I mean? And that's historically, basically, that's what they really did. You know what I mean? So once they, went around the world causing mischief and bloodshed, rape, robbing, and murdering everything they could come across, eventually the little dictator, little devil Napoleon, by the year 1802, he got with his brother-in-law, who's called Charles. He got with his brother-in-law, told Charles, he said, listen, them Haitians over there effing this money up. I need you to go over there and handle that for me. He was like, all right, boss, I got you. So he takes his little ships and his crew. So they shoot over Haiti, basically call themselves like, we here, we the enforcers, we ready to put the hammer down, and I mean, we ready to take over Haiti. All right. So that was back in like 1802. About a year later, they was hauled behind and jumping on that ships, running up out of Haiti. So when they ran into Haiti, them black warriors ran them right up out of there. Now, I mean, through warfare, diseases, you name it. Now, I mean, they just wasn't ready for it. Now, I mean, so when, Napoleon them peeped it, they like, dang, okay. Well, who's running the block? Who in Haiti? You know what I mean? So when they peep the black generals, they like, all right, we can't fight. We can't beat these dudes physically. We're going to have to beat them psychologically. So they use their divide and conquer, Yakub's law. That's the messenger teaches about Yakub's law of divide and conquer. This is how minority rules a majority. Keep them divided amongst themselves. Go amongst the original people and spread gossip. Now, I mean, tell them that you heard the neighbors talking about them last night. Now, I mean, to this day, you got dark-skinned Haitians that oppose light-skinned Haitians. Now, I mean, you got ones on this side of the island thinking that the ones on this side of the island is their enemy, and they're all colonized by European powers. Sad but true. Now, I mean, so what they eventually did was they rounded up the intelligentsia, the leadership, and, militarily, that thing is, you cut off the head, the body going to die. So they locked up the leadership, put them in jail. You know how they do. You go to penitentiary. They put the Haitians in prison and let them rot, and they died in prison, and they psychologically put the fear of not God, the fear of the devil in the rebels. So the revolution was quelled. Now, I mean, and by around 1804, the resistance was still there. And they literally changed the name of that land and called it Haiti. Now, I mean, which basically goes back to the Taino Indians. Now, I mean, it's, our beloved brother. I just was watching our beloved brother, Dr. Ali, and Jabari building on that subject. Now, I mean, and in my humble opinion, they both had excellent points. Now, I mean, this really wasn't two opposing theories. It's just that, how they say, if you look at this side, the hand is black, look at this side, is white. It was more like looking at both sides of the coin. I'm pro the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. My thing is the messenger message is what guides us through this age of mess. And when you look at what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, it literally fills in all the gaps. Now, I mean, like, did blacks in America come from Africa, or were blacks already here as aboriginals or native to the lands of South, Central, and North America, as well as Canada, the islands, whatever the case may be? And I would humbly explain to a person both. I mean, absolutely both. The messenger story tells us something that a lot of us just simply don't realize. When it comes to understanding Black history and studying Black history, what we know is that we don't know. There is no beginning or ending to a law of the black man and woman on the face of this planet, family. Now, I mean, we can calculate certain things, like our teachings teach us, okay, the moon's 66 trillion years old, the stars 72 trillion years old, the earth, we've been, 76 trillion years old. Before the earth was formed, the mind of man produced the sun 78 trillion years ago. We can go back to 114 trillion years ago to the very first star or atom of creation, the first spark, the causation, as our ancestors put it, cause and effect. White scientists call it the Big Bang Theory. Now, I mean, religious people call it the point of creation, kun, fire, kun. It's the same thing, just said in a different way. Now, I mean, and what we're basically saying to the world is that when you look at the world's cultures, look at history, and you're looking at it from a limited perspective, you're looking at it in the sense of like the Aztecs, Kemet, Egypt, Nubia, Sudan, Kush, Ethiopia, Zania, so-called South Africa, whatever you want to call it, Becca, so-called Mecca. If you pick up Message to the Black Man in the Wilderness of North America, reread that book. The messenger makes it clear in Message to the Black Man 1965. He puts it like this, that the original people came from and were living along the rich Nile Valley civilization and the present holy seat of Mecca. We did not separate Mecca or Becca from the Nile. the Blue Nile, the White Nile, from Nubia, the Kushite. It's all you're literally talking on a map, you're literally talking about the same exact piece of land. Now, scientifically, if you really want to understand looking at the sciences of life, our lessons teaches us as FOIs and MGT, we supposed to study the sciences of life. When you study the sciences of life, when you look at geography, geology, mineralogy, when you study the movement of rocks, the essence of rocks, the essence of mountains and grains of sand, I mean, and the archaeology when you look at the mathematics of it, it makes perfect sense. Now, I mean, like you'd be like, what is living matter? Basically, what atom is, the elixir of living matter? Carbon. Okay. Now, you say, okay, when we look at land, if I see a river, if I see a jungle, if I see a desert like the Sahara Desert coming 2,200 miles, scientifically, you'd be like, where would the oldest part of that land be? Absolutely under the sand. You'd be like, what makes Saudi Arabia, the Arabian family, so wealthy? It's oil under that sand in Saudi Arabia. What is oil? Dead people, plants, animals, ancient civilizations. That's how nature operates. I mean, they transform organic matter into what we call today oil. Okay. And, you process that oil, you can refine it, you get your gas, you get whatever. Now, I mean, but at the end of the day, you have to imagine the Arabian desert before it was an Arabian desert. That's so ancient in antiquity. It's like river civilizations, the Tigris, Euphrates, the people of ancient Sumer. It's like, yeah, they got meta hieroglyphics, but they got meta hieroglyphics over here. So we're going way past everything I just got finished talking about. We're saying, to really understand this, Master Muhammad gave us a lesson, gave us a bunch of lessons, Lost Foundation for Islam in the Wilderness of North America in a mathematical way. One of our lessons are the 99 actual facts. In the 99 actual facts, in 1933, we were taught the actual factors. Now, unfortunately, when Master Muhammad left, the Nation of Islam broke up into various branches. Some branches didn't use some of the lessons because the messenger started changing things and making it where Allah's temples were then called Muhammad's temple. Prophet W.D. Fard was known as Allah in person. So a lot of the believers rejected the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad because he was vibrating on such a high vibration with power to the people. He concluded, listen, the black man is God, period. The black woman is goddess, period. Okay? His whole premise, his teachings in the 15,000 year history of Dr. Yaqub, he explained to us that Yaqub taught his people that he would make gods and goddesses, not just gods and goddesses. This is what Dr. Yaqub taught before Islam, before Buddhism, before Taoism, before Judaism, before Catholicism, before Christianity, before Islam, whatever you want to call it in this modern day. All these new religions, all this spooky stuff. Before all that was taught, it was real simple. We, as a species, were the supreme beings. Supreme only means most high. Being means to exist. All right. We was the highest form of existence. Meaning if you took the tiny brain of a mouse, it could not outthink the human being. If you took the huge brain of a whale, it could not outthink the human being. When it came to the human being, black was simply the dominant gene. A lot of our people were like, it's the seed of the father. That's absolutely true. But that doesn't have anything to do or negate the fact that the black father can have dominant or recessive gene in him and or the mother. And the child carrying that. So if a black man and a black woman have a black daughter or a black son, they can marry and have 4 children, and one to come out, say they have 5 children, 6 children. One child could come out black. The other child could come out brown. The other child come out yellow. The other child come out red. The other child come out as an albino. And the other child come out as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white baby. All of that is in the original man, the Asiatic black man, the maker on the creator of planet Earth, God of the entire universe, covering 230, 640 quadrillion miles, family. So basically, when the messenger teaches us that we're Asiatics, or world citizen, Asia simply means world. Ati means tribe or citizen. We're world citizens. There were, you'd be like, ancient Kemet. When? Egypt changed countless times. I mean, South America changed countless times. Central American borders changed countless times. North American borders, Canada, those borders, it's like, come on. Even amongst us ourselves, according to our migrations, according to our internal conflicts and politics and financials and resources, if it's a natural disaster, if it's a heat wave, if it's a flood, if there's a snowstorm, if there's an earthquake, if there's a volcanic eruption, people move, things change. That's just the law that's constant according to the Kabbalion. Change is just a universal phenomenon, family. Things are always in a state of flux. Know what I mean? We cannot spookily think that the way things are today is how it was yesterday, and that's how it's going to be tomorrow. Just simply doesn't happen like that. Know what I mean? That's just pseudoscience all day long. I mean, but the messenger basically was trying to get us to understand, and our 99 Actual Facts by Masfar Muhammad, that we have 7 continents, are major pieces of land. Asia, the biggest part, 16 million square miles. We have Asia, then comes Africa, 12 million square miles. We have Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and last comes Europe. We lived on the best part. Not just once, but wherever the best part is. You see what I'm saying? It's like we're living in the best part, and there's an ice age, there's a heat wave, and the best part is no longer the best. We like, yo, the river just dried up. We out of here. We going to another river. We going to the other best part. Where's the best part now? And for our generation, in our time period, time, the message teaches us, is created by motion. Know what I mean? So this is the reality of how we mathematically move, and understanding those tectonic plates and the so-called theory on Pangea. You could literally look at a map or a globe of the world and see the 7 pieces of land. They just simply fit like pieces to a puzzle. So when we're talking about the original people, black people as we know, we're saying, before there was any such thing as Arabs or Chinese or Indians, those are new concepts. Like, if you was Indian, you were black. If you was Chinese, you were black. Black people just was black. If you was in Europe, you just was a black European. We just didn't call it Europe at that time. We didn't call it Chi or China or, Hindi or India, whatever. Know what I mean? And we wasn't no perfect, holy, spooky people. Now, I mean, when the message teaches, when the Hindus rejected the black man as God and start worshiping anything and everything as God, that caused problems. And they got exiled by the original people 16,000 years ago, and they was sent over to the wilderness of North America to the original people. That was like sending them to the penitentiary. They were exiled out of the midst of the original people and sent to the wilderness of North America, and they migrated all over, and so they were smart people. They had tools and all that already. Like, a lot of archaeologists be like, oh, where you find the fossil tools. It's like, man, upstairs, I got a garage. If I go in my garage, I got stuff hanging up on the wall, hacksaws, drills, power tools. I mean, sledgehammers, hammers, screwdrivers, you name it. I didn't create them tools. You take the tools from other cultures, anything that they be like, okay, damn, I can use this in my house for efficiency. So you take tools, you take sciences from other cultures and you bring it to your own home or you bring it to your own culture. Now, I mean, and you know, so using these tools, now, I mean, it's like stuff overlap. They be like, well, I got the drill from Home Depot. I got the screwdriver from the Dollar Tree. I got the sledgehammer. I got that was used. I got that from a yard sale couple of years ago. Now, I mean, I bought this power saw brand new. I got that from Lowe's. I mean, so that's not history. You coming in my house and looking at my ancient tools and be like, oh, I'll at least develop the hacksaw. I ain't developed no hacksaw. I used the hacksaw. Now, I mean, it's like I had tools that I didn't know how to use. I had to learn how to use them. I got different types of laptops. I had to learn how to use all this technology, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You know, if I get a little equalizers or like the mic got all these buttons, I don't know what these, but I gotta learn. I gotta have to study the operating manuals to figure out how this stuff works. Now, I mean, it don't mean that just because I'm using it, I created it. I'm not plagiarizing somebody else's material. I'm simply saying, like, I'm appreciative of Chinese culture, Indian culture, Arab culture, African culture. Now, I mean, it's like, nah, I'm not going to deny myself. I'm not going to deny my ancestors, but I'm not going to get spooky with it either, family. You know what I mean? So, you know, the messenger basically is trying to get us to understand and try to picture or imagine a world without banners and borders and divisions and languages and tribes. And I mean, we're talking in the beginning, like all of the land masses are, you know, magma. The core of the earth is hot nickel. Now, I mean, that magma is going to unify all of the land masses. And when the earth quakes, the Holy Quran Surah 99 or chapter 99 of the Holy Quran is known as the shaking out zilzal. When the earth quakes, the land breaks up. That's a natural phenomenon. Now, I mean, it's like when a black woman gets angry, sometimes this beautiful, happy sister, she gonna be pissed. And when she gets angry, in her, like God, like the sun is not some holy, spooky, raw, beautiful this, and you worship the physical sun. Symbolic, family. You know what I mean? You look at the sun for real, the sun got all kind of black spots. You look at the original people, it's all kind of black flaws on our light. Now, I mean, when you look at the black woman, when she gets upset, she can spit fire too. She don't need to spit fire from the sun. In her, she has a sun in her core. She has a god or goddess in her. This is why we say Salam Allah, peace God, peace goddess. I mean, we have no problem with that, family. We know who we are. Now, I mean, we're the 5%, the poor righteous teachers for real. We're not saying that because of hip hop or some news. We're saying that because that's what Master Muhammad and the message was teaching the nation of Islam back in the 1930s. I mean, it ain't started with any of the students. This started from God in person, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever. All right. So our worldview, and that's all everybody keep gang warring and arguing about. They really not arguing a theory or, you know, a spiritual or religious proposition. They're really talking about their worldview. Everybody got a worldview. There's nothing wrong with your worldview. That don't mean everything in my worldview is correct. Everything in your worldview is correct. We're not saying we know all of the answers. We're saying we live in a universe where we will never know all of the answers. That's the beauty of the X, the unknown. That's the beauty of darkness. That's the beauty of the universe. We're constantly learning. We're constantly seeking. We're constantly finding new things. And that which we thought was perfected, we like, oh, that's corny now. We taking that, we vibrated, we thought the black and white TV was it, but now we got plasma TVs. We got smartphones and rockets going to other planets and drones. And now, I mean, you know, the ancient Chinese gunpowder, the ancient black guns It's like they got automatics. They got ghost guns in this day and time. I mean, modern people look at you like you spooky thinking we're going to use that old technology. That may be the base upon which we built. The Messenger put it like this in 1974, and Our Savior has arrived in his last book. He explained to us naturally, we can improve on a thing once we have a make or model of it. Know what I mean, or for it. Know what I mean? So that's just human nature. Know what I mean? It's like, that's just, like whatever we got in 2023, 100 years from now, believe me, it's going to be considered corny. My glasses, they going to be like, why was y'all wearing glasses in 2023? Y'all didn't know how to fix eyeballs back then? No, we didn't. Why are y'all reading manual books? Y'all didn't know how to put information inside of a brain cell? No, in this day and time, no, we don't have that type of technology. Know what I mean? But that's just how it goes. So basically what we're saying is that all these 7 pieces of land, all of the broken up islands, they all were solidified into one. All of the tribes came from one tribe. All of the people, no matter what you talking about, what DNA, sequencing, RNA, whatever messenger, it's all from the original man, the black man, the God. I mean, and diversity is just the way the universe operates. I don't care how many elements is on the atomic chart. It's all from hydrogen. I don't care what kind of hydrogen atom or physical matter it is. It's all from the mental. It's all from the mind. The mind produced the matter. The black man's mind is the manifestation of everything that you know as a universe. Master Muhammad told the messenger, he said, brother, once upon a time, the universe did not exist. Today, the universe exists. Sun, moon, and stars. That right there takes away the impossibility. There's nothing impossible in our universe. The Bible got it right. With God, all things are possible. You see? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Alif Lam Mim. Allah is the best knower. Now, I mean, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I mean, but the mathematics don't lie. Islam is mathematics, and real mathematics is Islam. All right. So, all of the land masses we're simply saying was connected into one. So to properly understand the cultures of the people on the planet Earth, you got to get away from the European theories. In 1972, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the Theology of Time, a theory may or may not be true until it's proven. I mean, he said we're not going to be sitting around listening to guesses and all that kind of stuff. Speculation. Everybody got opinions. You got one. I can learn from you on certain stuff. You can learn from me on certain stuff. I can't sit here and act like I know everything. I'm confident there are people in and out the Nation of Islam, black and white, young and old, that know stuff I simply just don't know. I can learn from them if I'm humble enough. You know what I mean? If I'm brotherly enough and respectful enough. You know what I mean? If I want to assimilate that information, but, scientifically, we tell people all the time, data does not become information in a computer until it has a processor. If it's not properly processed, all you got is information. You can Google and read anything. I mean, but that don't give you understanding. You know what I mean? That's I could take the parrot and be like, Polly wants a cracker. Polly wants a cracker. And the bird eventually say Polly wants a cracker. I don't mean the bird understands that. He don't understand how to make crackers. He don't understand how to grow wheat and flour and yeast and water and bacon and build ovens and brick ovens. He don't understand none of the God sciences. He could just repeat God sciences. And this is what a lot of our people do. Now, I mean, they quote wisdom, but our lessons teaches us what? Knowledge is to listen, know, and observe. Knowledge is just the foundation. Wisdom is to make your knowledge known, the woman. But understanding, family, is a picture one makes in his or her mind based on the knowledge. So the knowledge of yourself It's the knowledge of yourself, not the knowledge of me, not the knowledge of him, not the knowledge of Master Muhammad, the messenger, the Africans, the Olmecs, the Taino Indians, or whatever. All of that plays a role in this gumbo of universal knowledge, you see. And in Haiti, once the land masses was broken up and fractured all apart, and they renamed pieces of land countless other names, and countless powers came in and colonized different regions. You had what was known as the Taino Indians over in Haiti. The fact that every name Haiti is really a Taino word. I mean, but that's a whole nother subject. But the Tainos, the Native American Indians, the message teaches us, that, they could not put up with the devil's bullcrap. All that slavery and work in the fields and growing and picking tobacco and sugar cane. They just was getting disease and dying off. They was too pure, too righteous of a people. That gene pool was not ready for that. But the people from West Africa had such a diverse gene pool. Their nature simply was like, damn, these people are literally immortal. Like they can whip them, work them. I mean, and we was dying and suffering too, but we were stronger people and able to withstand that and survive the crap. And I mean, and long story short, we eventually had a people that established a distinct culture on the island of Haiti. They mixed their Yoruba beliefs of West Africa, their spiritual system, no religion, but their spiritual sciences. Spiritual science go together. You know what I mean? And since the colonizer colonized them and they are now under Spanish and French rule, they simply mixed it up with their organized religion or Catholicism and Christianity, whatever we want to call it in this day and time. But, it's what people do all over the planet Earth. I mean, so, they sticking with the basic principle, but they got a white Jesus, white angels, life after physical death. So there's a lot of spooky stuff that come up out of all that kind of stuff. Now, I mean, like us on the mainland, our thing was if we want to go to heaven, we had to be good slaves. And eventually when we die, we'll have a white ghost come out our black bodies and shoot up to the white Nimbus or Cirrus and Cumulus and Stratus clouds, and we'll see the white Jesus, and Jesus have a white throne and white robes and the white angels with the white feathers. And, it was white supremacy all day long. I mean, and those spiritual precepts is how our people tried to maintain their sense of peace of mind and contentment while being oppressed. Now, I mean, dealing with the anxiety, the depression, the suicidal thoughts, the anger, I mean, the rage, the dissatisfaction. And as those things was going on, Haiti was trying to carve out her own place over there on the island of what we know today as Haiti. And the European powers, I'm talking the United States, Spain, France, all them devils was all working together. This is something that we just keep forgetting about. Now, I mean, Yaku's law of divide and conquer. So they behind the scenes really working together. All right. But eventually the French came over to Haiti. Spaniards had the western side. Now, I mean, the Dominican Republic as we know it in this day and time. But the Haitian side, the French had that side, and they basically came over with the real gangsters. They had the big guns. Now, I mean, it's like some young boys taking over the block. But then the National Guard come with tanks. And they like, come out the house, you know what I mean? Or we'll blow the horse. You know what I mean? This is the French Navy with cannons that could literally annihilate the whole island. They could, like, the Haitians could physically fight again. They not scared. They already proved they had the bayonets, the machetes. They already whacked them all up. So they know, like, toe to toe, there's no competition. But when it comes to the money and the technology, they didn't have that. Like in 2023, we don't have nuclear bombs and all that. So we, in the Nation of Islam, we don't run around playing games thinking we're going to overthrow the government with a few brick bombs and a couple of FOIs with some ghost guns. And that's not our teaching. That's not our belief. That's bloodbath teaching. That's suicide. But that don't put us in the position of being a coward and either. We know how to fight. We know when to fight. We fighting from a position of self-defense. Now, if you come at us, you're going to see the guerrilla side. I mean, we definitely, like any man, any woman, any child, we're going to protect and defend what we got. Now, I mean, that's human nature. But the Haitians, when they seen that situation, they wisely was like, damn, now we could go ahead and just do a straight suicide situation here and just give them what they want. Just, go all out. But we killing all the children. We enslaving the children. They going to kill all the women, the elders. They going to rape, rob, and murder our women. They going to desecrate our culture, stuff that we have on this island. So their thing was like, all right, we're going to sign a peace treaty. Not that we trust you, not that we like you, not that you like us, but militarily, that's just the best thing to do at the present time until we get in a stronger position on both sides. But Haiti, when they had the cannons and that rifles and bayonets and all that, and that military soldiers out there ready to kill everything, they literally extorted the island of Haiti. They used racketeering laws. They literally came like the mafia. Now imagine you on the block and 50 Jeeps pull up. Dudes jump out with AR-15s, AK-47s, M11s, whatever. And they like, and you on the block, you got 50 diehard, fearless brothers. But these dudes got 5,000 killers, fully armed, bulletproof stuff, bulletproof trucks and Jeeps and vans. You like, we do not stand a chance against these dudes. They got us. They got the drop on us. That's the position Haiti was in 1888. So the French was like, all right, listen, this is what we're going to do. We could kill all y'all, or we could recognize y'all as an independent people, and y'all could go ahead and network with other nations, do whatever y'all want to do. But y'all got to pay France reparations for messing our money up. You messed the package up. What was the package? We had black slaves. We had all this tobacco and sugar cane and cocoa, whatever. The fishing. Y'all messed our paper up. We would have had perpetual paper running through this joint. So we want 90 million francs, or y'all can die. The military soldiers of Haiti's like, damn. We damned if we do, we damned if we don't. All right, we agreed. So they signed off on that. And over the years, they paid over 100 million francs to France as reparations. I say extortion fees all day long. What is extortion? Extortion to Black's Law Dictionary is basically the practice of attaining something, protection, money, property, goods and services, whatever, through the force of coercion or technology, deception. In 2023, the best thing Haiti can do is wake the world up to what happened and what's happening right now. Now, I mean, it's deeper than, let me be clear about this. I don't agree with Haitian so-called gangs kidnapping Americans, whatever. Now, I mean, I stay in my lane. I mind my business. Now, I mean, But I want people to understand that Yaqub's law of divide and conquer is being used in Haiti like it was used all over Africa and other places around the world. And that you have these unseen corporations, these unknown corrupt politicians, black and white, that is making moves to serve their own agenda and best interests. So they flooding them with the guns. They flooding them with the drugs. Know what I mean? You know, it's like, you know, different gangs, you know what I mean? They instead of fighting the powers that be, they killing each other. Know what I mean? You know, they shooting each other on sight. They raiding villages, come in the hood, firebombing, burning the houses down, killing the women, the children, the dogs, the pets. It's just real bad, and it's going to get worse. But the same World Court, the same so-called United Nations that wouldn't do nothing about coming together and invading Ukraine and stopping Putin and Russia and all this other stuff. All these same people is now like, yo, we should rush Haiti again. They ready to invade Haiti. Think about that. On a tiny island, they like, we should go in. Know what I mean? We should. It's like, y'all don't talk like that when it comes to these European problems. But as soon as it's a poor black, brown, yellow, or red little nation, Taiwan or Japan, y'all ready to bomb them. Y'all ready to go. Y'all mean, like, let's kill them all. I mean, it's crazy. But you know, the reality is, you know, France and the World Court and the nations of the world and the leaders of the free world supposed to demand that, one, why did the slave masters of France make the slaves of Haiti pay the slave masters reparations? Two, why won't the World Court and the UN stop France from collecting reparations from Haiti? Three, why won't the World Court and the United Nations that's supposed to be for freedom, justice, and equality, and peace, and harmony, and human rights, and all this other nonsense that they lying about, why y'all ain't telling France, yo, y'all know y'all got to get them that money back? Because the people of Haiti is not poor. They're poor because America and France stole their money. This crazy family was really, it's like they literally got it upside down. You got the colonizer, the oppressor, the dictators, the pirates, the Vikings, the devils, the slave owners, the slave makers telling the slaves, since y'all stopped us from enslaving y'all and stopped us from stealing y'all sugarcane and stealing y'all tobacco and cocoa and fishing rights, we would have made a lot of money if we would have been able to steal all that stuff. So this is what we're going to do. Y'all going to pay us a tax, an extortion tax, a jizya. Y'all going to pay us in France some money to stop us from killing y'all. That's extortion. Oh, that's extortion 101, family. We got to wake up. We got to do better. The struggle continues. Remember, only the messenger's message will guide our people through this age of mess. Peace.